And this has been printing flipping. But I don't know if I'm gonna regret it or I'm gonna be fine with it, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. I don't know whether I am going to be happy or whether I'm not going to be happy, because this morning I was 3D printing and I kind of rushed it and it just didn't come out right. But we are doing the handles. And this has been printing for 10 hours. Yes, it's got 3 hours left. So in theory, do I speed it up? Oh no, this is bad. Oh no. It's gonna be a hard thing to put, but I'll heat gun it to warp it back down. But I think it didn't adhere properly here. But I think the front is pretty fine. That's also fine. That's how I have to heat gun also. Didn't come out right. Probably because of supports. And here, yeah, I didn't add supports. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, I'm going to spray paint it and wrap it with some Alcantara. If there's someone that knows where I can get some Alcantara, let's go speed it up, since as I said I'm wrapping with Alcantara to 200. Can't go bad, right? I'm just take an hour and a half. I don't know if I'm gonna regret it or I'm gonna be fine with it, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. Front pieces of the steering wheel are done, which will be wrapped in Alcantara. But there's a couple of defects. The defects are over here and over there. But to avoid the defects, over here I can cut that and it makes it so versatile. Or, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut there. This one here will probably get bolted down. As I bolt it down, now what's left over is the center. So I've noticed my plate at some point just rises. Like, this is just utter block. But the wrapping of the material is probably going to be everywhere it's blue, and then this part here is going to probably be exposed to put the nuts, so the material will sit around here. So that one's that one, and then another one here. Here's the other one. This one looks way better, but up here I think it didn't attach properly and started warping upwards. So this part, which is actually the top, likely will be covered, so you're not necessarily going to see anything, and I can probably hit with my heat gun to flatten it out. So we've got the centerpiece, we've got the covers for the front piece, we've got the back, top and bottom. The only thing that's left now is the center pieces that sit here, and then the back, and then we can put it all together. But probably I need to find some sort of Alcantara and sand this down while we're also busy with the construction of the body. But I had to print it slow. I haven't used this filament, but I buy my filament here at these guys, Build Volumes. Not a sponsor, not a plug, but I'm testing out their filament. Probably they will tell me, so my settings usually on 240 and the bed temperature's on 70, but for some odd reason it prints everything right, but then it warps. Well, this part here didn't sit nicely on the plate, and if I decreased the X index I was probably going to damage the plate itself. Earlier this morning I tried printing, but I messed up there because I was printing at 200, and as you can see it wasn't actually sitting properly down on the plate. So the filament for me, and I could be wrong, is not a high speed printing, because on Cura the speed is 60 millimeters per second, whereas if it's on 200 then it'll be 100 millimeters per second, but I know prescribed or recommended is 60. but if it's high filament, it should even be able to go to 400% and still print properly, but failed on 200, so why would I try 400? But yeah, I'll give them their chance. Let me go into the build, fix out that bottom piece that needs to be done, and then throw it down on here, let it print. And then this, I'll draw it down on a piece of wood and I will cut that. So this is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh! My own custom F1 steering wheel. So the things that I was saying was, I was considering that I could cut, I'm using one hand, I could cut the top piece. So I'll just probably throw them at the top right corner and the top left corner. Could cut that down so it looks like it's literally going upwards, which should be like in an inverse steering wheel. Could do that, and probably I might do that because as you can see there, that top piece here is hitting the top over here and hitting the top over there, which is preventing it from actually being flat down onto the steering wheel, which is making that part there levitate. And also this part here, okay, well that side's a bit flush, this side's up because it was warping, but that is actually like huge. Like when I put this next to this current steering wheel, which is almost the same as my car steering wheel, if not the same size as my car steering wheel, it's pretty much still the same size, just that you don't have a top piece, neither do you have a bottom piece to hold onto. Let me quickly go to the car. I just want to see out actually the size of the steering wheel. Oh no, my car. Just smaller than my actual car steering wheel. And literally when I'm driving, I am holding at these two pivot points, which is here. When I usually drive, I make sure I'm gripped over here because even if anything to happen, I still have control. And literally the wobbliness that I'm feeling, oh crap, I locked it. Wobbliness that I was feeling here is the same wobbliness that I feel in the Som Racer. So I'll be holding it like this and then tap, tap, up, up, up. Hey, so I still need this top piece here, but I don't think I need this area here, which I'm saying I'm considering on cutting. But that's pretty much the same size as a VW steering wheel, so I'm feeling the exact same like feel and stuff. If imagine if I were to turn this into a rally car, might be onto something, hint. But I don't know. I'd need a whole bunch of sponsors. I need a whole bunch of money. I don't have that, but it'd be really nice to do that. So it's pretty much where the steering wheel is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jigsaw cut this whole thing here going straight, or maybe even straight up to here, because I know some of them, they have buttons here for pit and so on, which is nice quick access, but my buttons are over here, which is actually a bit of a distance. So do I manufacture something that puts the buttons here and links across to the middle, so when I press here it pushes those ones? I think that might be a solution. But for version 1, I am digging this. This is so clean, this is so nice. You gotta be tuned, guys, don't miss anything. Let me jump into the CAD, do some updates, and then print out that bottom piece. But it's pretty much done. Print out the bottom piece will probably be done tomorrow, and then 8 o'clock, probably gonna draw this out on a piece of wood and cut it out so I can put the wood also, because this is roughly the same thickness as the wood that I have for this inter piece here. And then I'll probably paint it all black just to be very nice. Paint it all black, and then I need that plug for the Alcantara, because this is gonna sit here to close off this, because my print actually stopped before it was meant to stop. I don't know why, but that sits there. And this one in actual fact was meant to be underneath and inside, and it was meant to chill right here. So the idea with this part here is that it actually hides where the screws are. So those screws will generally just stay there. This will be sanded down. You won't even see that the screws there. You won't even see how it's attached, but it's attached. And then probably future mod, I want to put a logo here, so Enjoy Builds will probably be there. And then it would be nice to have like a mod here for the RGB shift lights, and then probably like an LED here to see which gear I'm in, because when I realized when I was playing here, I'm looking at the road. I don't even have time to look at the gear change. Hence why when I actually have that whole contraption sitting on the floor, I feel like this is actually the proper height, because I'll be roughly somewhere here, angled upwards, so I'll be looking up at the screen, and the gears and so on should probably be showing just above where my steering wheel is, which will allow me to get the best vision of which gear I'm in, where my RPMs are, without having to literally listen to it. Because I think that's actually why my gear changes were bad. I wasn't actually listening to the vehicle on how high it's revving and where the rev limiter is. I was just going ham. Didn't finish a race. But I'm gonna try again. I don't know when I'm gonna try again. I need to try again because I need to see what my time is with this setup before I complete the next setup. And probably I'll try again with this setup with that steering wheel, and then try again on this one. So I'm probably gonna throw you guys 4 different times that I had, and then every month I'll be posting where my progress is, if I'm going up or if I'm going down. And probably if there's any competitions, please make sure you do comment down and let me know which competitions I can join, even if it's like online racing, just having fun. I'm also down for that. So yeah, I've been fluffing. Let me get to the CAD and do some updates.